The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown.
All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the South Florida Live Podcast. Listen, I am your host, Jeffrey Brown. And as we always begin this episode, this broadcast, this podcast, saying this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Come on, thanks for everyone. Hopefully everyone that's coming on, listen, hope you experience peace and blessings on today. You had a wonderful day today, a productive day. All was well, all was great. You accomplished some goals that you set out on today, and you're doing well. You're home resting, had a little dinner, and everything is going well. Thank you for joining us on this evening. Come on in. You know what tonight is? It's the singles edition. Yes, we're in season 2. It's the singles edition. Y'all, we're still talking about dating God's way through our past hurts. And, we've been dabbling with insecurities. We're going to finish this up, hopefully finish it up tonight. Listen, so join us tonight. Those that are viewing by Facebook, if you will, share this podcast with someone. Tag a few people, if you will, right now. Tag some people. Let them know that the South Florida Live Podcast is on, and it's the singles edition on tonight. Those that are viewing by YouTube, if you don't mind, and if it's your first time viewing us by YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And once you hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit the notification button, the little bell, notification bell. Click on that. Once you click on it, click all. That way you get notified every time we go live, okay? Do that for me. Once again, if it's your first time, we're trying to get our subscriber numbers up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you will. Thank you for joining us on tonight. Those that first time or a second time. Those that are normal, our regular viewers on YouTube, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like and share button for me. And make a comment. Let me know that you're there. Say good evening. Let me know you're there. Let me know the sound. Everything is good. All is well on this end. Thank you so very much. Come on, Facebook. I see what you go. Oh, yeah. Truth is, you're beautiful. Everybody singing, they got to sing a new song. You're beautiful. Let me say,
Say yeah. Let me hear you say yeah.
All right, come on, guys, come on in. Let's go. Those that are viewing Facebook, hey, do me a favor. Go ahead and tag a few people if you will. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for tagging. Tag a few people. Let them know that the South Florida Live podcast is on. Listen, it's going to be another engaging, informative, life-changing episode on tonight. You do not want to miss it. You don't want anyone else to miss it. Hey, good evening, Miss Green. God bless you. Vanette, God bless you. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for joining us on this evening. Go ahead and tag someone, tag someone for me. Let them know that we're on. The singles edition is live and we are on. All right, do that for me if you will. Thank you. All right, we're gonna give you about 30 seconds. We're gonna get started. We're gonna kick it on. Like we got the crew. The crew is here. The crew is ready. One is on the move. one is on the move. He's on the move, but he's with us tonight. So come on, guys. Everybody singing together, sing a new song. Put your light in the air. Beautiful. Many mighty ships are sinking. All right, 10 seconds. Many stars are falling down. And I count it as a blessing that you hold me up now. Ooh. I can tell that you've been praying. 5 seconds. All right, come on, guys. Come on, let's go. Join us on tonight. It's going down. It'll be a good one tonight. It's going to be a good one tonight. You don't want to miss it. I know the Miami Heat is playing, but that's at 7:30. So come on, join us. You can watch us and then, get two device going on, if you will, two device going on. Locked in on us and then lock on the Heat game, if you will. All right, 5 seconds, everybody. All right. Hey, listen, once again, thank you for joining us on this evening. Thank you for joining us on this evening of the Singles Edition. Once again, I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown. And listen, I'm glad that you can join us on tonight. It's going to be another engaging, another informative, life-changing conversation on tonight. Hopefully, we can answer some questions and help someone out. And that's all we're trying to do, and be helpful. Walk this single life and this single walk together, and learn together, walk together, get better together. How about that? That sounds real deep, didn't it? Yeah. Learn together, come together, walk together, and learn together. All right. Hey, we're gonna make it. Hey, listen, just one announcement tonight. One announcement real quick. Nah, we'll do it. One announcement. Hey, once again, here it is, Chris Everett. It's the Christian Eve collection. Hey, check him out. Trust me, this guy is doing some great things. He's jewelry, the bead bracelets that I wear. He makes bracelets. He do rings. With diamond stuff. He can get anything you need when it comes to jewelry. This young man can help you out. He specializes in it. Okay, so call him, Chris Everett. Chris is going to be on the podcast pretty soon on the 28th, I believe. Yeah, 28th. He's coming on. He's a pastor and he's doing a great thing in the Miami, South Florida area. So, hey, let's support our own. Let's support our own Chris Everett. His number is 786-307-4925. 786-307-4925. It's the Christian Eve collection. You want to check them out. Trust me, you want to do that. Okay, go ahead and check them out. Hey, listen, it's time. We're coming on. Hey, listen, once again, good evening, everyone that's on. Good evening, everyone that's on. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, listen, the young lady is with us. My little sister is Chantel. Hey, good evening, my sister. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well, doing well.
That's
Blessed
good.
to be
That's
here.
good.
I hope you had a productive day on today.
Kind of, sort of. I was a little sleepy today, but I got the job done nonetheless.
Come on, join the sleepy crew. I was right there with you, right there with you, right there
Oh,
with you. But
okay.
we made it through. We made it through. We
We
made it through.
made
We
it through.
survived.
We're
We
here.
survived.
That's right.
We
Amen.
we kept on pushing.
Pushing.
So we made it on through. Listen, I got my brother. We got our brother with us tonight. He on the move though, but he with us though. We appreciate it. It's the one and only. It's the comedian himself, Minister
Roll
Rob Minor.
winner.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's
Hey.
up? What's up? What's up? Listen, I'm pressing through. I'm pressing through. I just got back home a couple of days ago, and everything is fine. And
Good.
club was open. It was a great success.
I'm
Hanging out with
glad.
Cheryl Underwood. She's crazy. Trust me. Y'all, I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know if y'all know the one on TV, but
Yes,
Cheryl
Uh-huh.
sir.
Underwood is nuts.
Yeah, I
She
know.
is
I know
crazy.
what you're talking about. Yes, sir.
She is crazy. And her and my buddy Mike Washington, he did a lot of Christian comedy and stuff like that. So uh, give y'all a quick heads up that they wrote a gospel comedy play that they want me to
Oh,
star in. So
All
that's
right
something
now.
good I'm looking forward to. The club is
Con-
opened up, so I might have to get a condo or something in Jersey because I'll have to do a
oh,
lot of
good
the
time.
Christian comedy on Sunday. Then
Okay.
I just got word that just picked up some sponsorship that I gotta evaluate and
Woo.
look up and pray through because you don't just want to accept anything.
Right.
But after and all this stuff is happening good, but the devil got to work. I just got a call about 40 minutes ago that my cousin they're giving her 24 hours to live. So
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
no. Oh
I gotta
man.
literally drive. So I'm gonna have to end up driving right back up north again. So
Oh wow. Hey
you know,
man, listen,
uh,
we're praying for you. Our prayers are
Yeah,
with
thank
you
you,
and your
thank you,
family
definitely.
and all the
thank
endeavor
you.
that you're doing. I told you, man, eyes have seen, ears have heard, man. There's some doors that are opening up for you, man. That's
Yes.
gonna be great.
Thank you.
It's gonna be large.
God bless you.
And I'm glad
I appreciate
I'm
that.
glad I know you now. I
Yeah.
can say I know, you know, I know
I'm
Rob.
glad. I'm glad I know
Rob.
me now.
I knew that.
So,
I know that guy. That guy used to be on my podcast. I know. I'm glad I got this
yeah,
opportunity.
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Um,
God is
yeah,
good. God is
yeah.
good. I get all
There's
praises and
some
all the
serious.
glory. Go to
Yeah,
God.
there are some
Amen.
major elevations about to happen with you. Major,
I
major
appreciate that.
elevations about to go. And
I
it's
appreciate
already
that.
started. You already started. The
Right.
doors are already opening for you. So we're praying for
Amen.
you, man. Praying for your
We are
family
definitely.
and everything that your journey that you're going through. Even now, you on the road. So hey,
Appreciate that.
listen, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. We've been in this dealing with this insecurity thing, man, and I've been getting inboxes about it. People are good with it. They are, making it look, sharing, oh my God, this is good. I need it. I got someone said, man, this is just what I needed. Um, I knew they said, hold on. They say, I knew I had insecurity issues and I had some insecurity things, but I was not. They watch this. They say I was not identifying it. Uh,
Mm.
Now just watching and listening to the podcast, I have been able to identify my insecurities, and I'm seeking help. That's what they say.
Amen.
So
That's
hey,
awesome.
y'all listen, y'all helping some people, man. So to God be the glory.
God be the
God be,
glory.
yeah, to God be the glory. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Just trying to walk this walk and help each other on this journey, man. Listen. So let's see if we can continue talking about it. Where's my
Mm.
notes? Um, yeah, insecurity. I think I send you guys something
Mm-hmm.
Today, and because now I can't find it. Uh, oh
I'm
man.
actually getting out the car, going in the house.
All right. Okay. Well, we go ahead. You go ahead, bro. Get yourself settled. We gonna take you off, and then you go ahead and get settled. Yeah, Shan, let me see. What did I do? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Is it the characteristics or?
Here it is. Here it is. All right. Yes, tonight. Listen, I wanted to throw this. I was thinking about it after that that person inboxed me, man. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times we may be in the midst of people that we know that
Right.
have some of these problems, have some of these issues or whatever, not issues, well, situations of being
Right.
insecure. And as friends, so I want to look at it more as in a friend's aspect. Hey, good evening, Ms. Ambrose. God blessings, peace and blessings to you. Ms. King, peace and blessings to you. Thank you for joining us on this evening. Thank you so much. Yeah, that how how to help those with insecurity get through them. How can we, if you and I was going to ask this question to you, I was going to ask it to Rob, I have you guys answer it in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
If you had some friends, you had a friend, and you can identify some of their insecurity, and you probably have been like, hey girl, you're fine, girl, don't do that. and
Right.
and in the midst of that, they were not still not identifying it themselves. They
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to just say, well, it's just like this. Or some of them have identified it. And they just what how would you navigate or try and help them or navigate them? What would you say, or how would you, yeah, what would you say, and how would you try and navigate them through their insecurity? If you identified it, how would
Mm-hmm.
you get them to actually get to see it or
I
identify it?
think I would like if it was an instance where I felt like something, I noticed something about them being insecure, I would bring it to their attention and like talk to them maybe, one on one and just kind of, ask them about it and see how they feel about it, see where their mind is and see if they even identify with it. And if they do, kind of, just encourage them or say, hey, well, what are you doing about it? Or how can I, how me as a friend, how can I help you overcome that, and just constantly just be a source of encouragement and just be there because I think sometimes people feel like because they have insecurities, they can't go to anyone and talk to them about it because they feel insecure about it, right? So
Yeah,
I just be in there and just be a source of encouragement and be able to kind of help them, overcome it and go through it, pray for them. I'll even send scriptures that kind of relate to them, their situation, just to kind of help encourage them as well.
right. And what if you had a friend? What if you had a friend that like some of the stuff we have been discussing on here, that have that thing where, and they made that comment that I said drives me crazy. Well, girl, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but and this keep happening to me. I can't help it. I just love hard. I just love hard. What would you say to them, or try and get them to change their mindset or their ways, their thought patterns on that?
I think I asked them one simple question. I think you posed this question last week too. How's that working for you?
Yeah, yeah,
How is that working for you? Like, how has that been benefiting you? If you're in the same cycle, and it's because of the fact that you know that you love hard, and it's not being reciprocated to you, how is that really working for you? Because it seems like every situation, you're the one who ends up with the short end of the stick. You're the
right.
one who always ends up being hurt. So I think it's time for you to kind of take a step back and see, what's the root cause? Why is it that you love so hard? What
But
contributes to that?
Chantel, I'm just that loving person. I'm
Yeah,
just that loving person. I like to love people. I'm just that loving person.
yes, and God says for us to love each other, but that's still a choice. You don't have to overlove. You don't have to love them so hard
Mm,
to the point you end up hurting yourself in the process. That's
mm,
not love.
yeah, yeah. Because I think we did talk about this. I think we said sometimes people are just so immune to it
Right.
that
Yeah. They don't
they're
see anything
just
wrong with it. They don't
yeah.
I
They
think
they
sometimes,
really
yeah, I think they try to avoid it because they feel like, oh well, loving hard is a good thing, which it can be, but to an extent. Like
right.
you just can't because you as a giver, you loving, but you also have to remember you have takers, people who are just gonna take it
Wow.
right on up.
Wow. Say that again.
Say you have as a person who loves hard, you're naturally giving, but then again, you have people who are takers. So they're not reciprocating the love that you're giving them. They're just
Right.
simply taking and absorbing it. All that you're giving, they taking it right on up.
Right.
Like a
Wow.
biscuit and some syrup. They just gonna stop it up
Do
until
you
you get tired of
think?
giving.
Do you think a lot of times they go through that because they're fear that they have that fear that if they stop doing it they won't draw it they won't what how I want to say it they won't be able to they
That
don't meet
person,
anybody or they won't yeah
then that's not a person that you need to be with. That's not someone that you should be interested in. Because again, you're basically just getting the short end of the stick. If you're doing if it's two people in the situation, it can't just be one sided. It can't be one person pouring into the other, constantly encouraging or, just giving, giving, giving. It has to be, reciprocated, coming from both ends.
right. Rob, the question was, and I said I was going to address it to both of you. If you had that friend, guy friend, female friend, whatever, and you were able to identify some of their insecurities, but they had not identified it, or not trying to identify it, or just don't want to identify it, and they continue to walk in it and not getting better as a friend, I actually tell the question as a friend, how can you help that person with those insecurities get through and help them navigate to make them better or to get them to identify that they have those insecurities?
That's a good question. That's a good question. And now I'm hearing what her answers were. They were good answers because I heard her answers for that stuff, but I didn't know what the question was, and they're good answers. I think a lot of people need to understand that uh, a lot of that stuff, insecurities and stuff like that, are also defense mechanisms. A
Mm,
lot of people act that way because they're either trying to cover up something or they're afraid to let people know who they really are. So they put on this front or they put up these issues and act like this is how I am because that's how they want you to think they are. And a lot of times when you are honest with people and upfront with them, you can break down those walls. But here's how you break down those walls. You break down those walls by before you attack them and tell them what you see, what's wrong with them, be open about the things that you know that's wrong with you that you had to address yourself with to let them know that you yourself had issues or you yourself had situations where you had to deal with stuff that you did not want to deal with or you did not want to admit. Once people see that you're not just coming after them or coming at them as if you know it all, but you're coming at them with experience and that you're trying to help them because you too yourself been through stuff, it's easy for them to be able to receive what you're saying. Yeah.
so you saying it's better to just to yeah, use yourself as being transparent. Hey, I've been there, I've done that, but but this is how I press through it. this is how I did it, because once I identified that I had these insecurities, um, I decided, and it's not an easy process.
It's not.
It's not an easy process. So we're not saying it's an overnight thing, but
No.
something, I mean, I believe it starts with
Mhm.
identifying and then wanting to do better or get better and not want to stay in that same place.
Absolutely. And recognizing the consequence and recognizing the consequences of not changing. Like, put examples of, this is why you're dealing with this because of this, or this is the reason why things don't go right in your relationship because of this. Give examples and say, look, because when I was doing what I was doing wrong, that's why I'm not with so-and-so, or that's why I messed this up. A lot of times the best way, even most counselors that you go to, teachers, professors, whatever, when they're teaching a class, counseling, or the first thing they usually do is give an example of how they went through the same thing and how they overcame it. The very Bible is full of people who were horrible people that God gave a second chance to. They overcame it. Tell you how they did it. So it's the same thing with life.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there, Rob. Yeah, because it came to me just to ask that question, man, because a lot of times as friends, and I always said we should be the one or friends that's in the midst. If you're a real friend, if you're a true friend, and you're sitting there watching your friend continue to go through hurt and those situations, and you see it, and you know what the issue is, you know what some of their insecurities are. How do you just deal with it? Now, I'm okay. I'm kind of winding back because someone sent me something, because I've been saying about love hard, but see, you got to understand my definition. Yeah, my definition of loving hard. If you're trying to over conversate and trying to force somebody to love you, and it's not, and it's not working, or they end up, yes, taking advantage of the situation that you're in love. That's why we said, I came up with last week, sometimes we have to learn to love under control.
Yeah.
When we saying love hard, if you know that you're that loving person, and you just love somebody, somebody in all their ways, and they're good and they're bad, and that, even though you're doing that, but it doesn't work out, and every time you get in someone, you with that and you doing it, maybe you need to step back from that.
Right.
That's hard.
And control it.
Right.
Sometimes people can, like I think I said it some time back. We have a tendency. I use the word we. We have the tendency to skip the process to get to love.
Right.
Go
We
straight to
skip
it.
the process. We hear this week. We hear next week, and then all of a sudden we done fell deeply
In
in
love.
love.
You know it's hard. You know why it's hard for Christian dating? You want to hear this? You want to know why it's hard for Christian dating? The reason why it's harder for Christian dating is because a lot of the ways that we love, we're taught to love that way anyway by Christ.
True.
And other people get an advantage by getting all this extra love and this agape love and all this love, because that's who Christ make us. We're taught to love people who don't love us. We're taught to be nice to people who not nice to us. We're taught to tell people, go tell your brother you're sorry, even when it's your brother's fault. So some people just get the benefit. Sometimes it's not just loving hard. It's not over loving. Sometimes that's just the Christ in you. And most people, if they would allow Christ to get into them, would be the same way. So sometimes in Christian dating, you're not loving too hard. You're doing exactly what God told you to do. It's that unequally yoked part again. Some people have not caught up to that part where you love your brothers and your neighbors as much or more than you love yourself. So
Amen.
you talking about loving hard on a non-Christian relationship, I understand that. But it's hard not to love hard as a Christian because that's your job anyway. Even if you wasn't dating that person, even if you and dating just add another element to treating them nice. But
Yeah.
if the more saved you are, the more you are going to be taken advantage of. That's just how it go. That's
Yeah.
how
We are taught to have that brotherly love.
Mhm.
That
Right.
that Filippo, that brotherly love. But
they
a lot
come
of
to
times
agape.
that agape, right? And a lot of times we skip that and go straight to errors.
Mhm.
Yeah. Some people don't even understand agape, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And you
can be-
first. That's what I'm glad you said that, Rob. I'm saying we first got to get the agape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Understand the agape, where we are in agape, before you can get to the errors. Because if you don't get the foundation and understanding of that conditional love of agape, that brotherly love, you won't understand, and you really won't have the understanding once you reach to the errors love.
Exactly.
Because there is a difference in like you were saying about the Christian love, the compassion love, and then being in love.
Mhm.
And there is a difference. A
Right.
lot of times I ask people, that they, are you, do you love them? Or are you in love? Well, I do love them. Oh, wait a minute, y'all engage. You
Ooh.
love them or you in love? You know what I'm saying?
You
So
shouldn't even be questioning that.
no, exactly. Because you hadn't navigated yourself through that agape, that brotherly love, and shifted to the eros love. And sometimes, like I said, those that love hard, that use that love hard for that crutch, that I got victimized because I love hard. I go all in when I'm dating.
You're gonna be victimized as a Christian.
Yeah, you will be.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
you
you.
will be.
Because
Because
it's in the rule book.
Yeah,
it's part of the rule book. It's part of the package. You go.
Yeah, and I think
the same
Shan-
way they treated me, they gonna
Yeah.
treat you. The more you walk like me, the more you're gonna suffer my persecutions. Now the more you walk like me, you will obtain my power. You attain my discernment. You obtain all those things, but they ain't gonna like you. So the more and that's the problem. We can talk all we want. That's the whole problem. The problem is Christian dating is supposed to be done by two Christians, and a lot of times it's not.
No, it's not.
And it's not your job to help another to babysit another Christian's Christianity. That's God's job. And sometimes, especially with guys, man, a lot of guys, they look for the kind of emotional support from a woman that, dude, you're supposed to already have, man. She ain't your mama, man. You're supposed to go into that relationship grown. But a lot of guys look for this compassion, stuff like that. We have the same compassion, man. No, man. Stop looking for somebody, it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
And I think Shan said it earlier. Shan said you got some givers, you got some takers.
Yes. Oh,
you know what? This is my thing. This is both on men and women's side. This is both on men. Men have to notice that giver and taker. Even those men, we're supposed to be the head of the household and whatnot. But women, you definitely have to be. You have to understand and discern.
Yes.
Have that discerning spirit of the giver and the taker. If you got a giver or a taker. And once again, I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna throw this question. I'm gonna go here because I always use it, Chantel, and I used to use it with the singles ministry. That what is it possible? If it was possible, if everyone got into a relationship, and that's me and everybody else, and we got to his place and we built that foundation, that relationship where each one treated each one the way they would want to be treated.
Yeah, that's
that look like. I don't know if that's fantasy or a possibility or if it can be, but I'm just saying, if that was the case, would more relationships be better?
Absolutely, because if you noticed, I preach that all the time. I say, my job is to make sure you're taken care of. Forget me. My job is to make sure you're taken care of. And your job is to make sure I'm being taken care of. So, because that's all Christ is, forsake yourself. That's
Right.
all it is forget yourself. See, the only time the relationships don't work is when you get too much self involved. Because that's
Rob,
what
you're saying
selfish
something.
is. That's what selfish is. Too much of yourself. That's
Yeah.
why I don't even like a selfie. That's too much of myself. You know, I'm serious. No. I don't need no picture of myself. I know what I look like. I really need no picture every day. I know I look good in the suit. I know I look good in the haircut. I don't need to validate that. That's already been done. I need a picture of myself every day.
So, Rob.
Self.
Rob.
Selfies. No.
So Rob. Because y'all know I talked about this one time before. So Rob, posting pictures of yourself.
Oh God.
Every day, all day.
Oh God. Oh, that's almost as bad as giving yourself a party.
Is that an area? Is that seen as campaigning? Or is that seen as you positioning yourself?
No, don't believe that. Don't believe that. That's selfish to the max. And then taking the picture in the phone and angling it so you can see your behind, all that. It's just who taking pictures in the bathroom? What's all these pictures in the bathroom? Out of all the places I take a picture at, the last place I would want to take a picture is in the bathroom. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. How self-driven we are. And that's why we can't get nowhere. Because you know why? We in our own way. Get yourself out the way. It's silly. It's silly. How you go to a relationship and you want to be part of somebody else, but you still keep concentrating on yourself. How this got to be right for you. This got to be right for you. This got to be right for you. Really?
But be honest, Rob. Be honest. To be honest, a lot of times I've heard it. A lot of times those things are done where they're trying to express them in a light where, hey, I'm positioning myself. Hey, I'm that together woman. I'm just saying. I'm that together woman. You know, see me. I'm not a bad looking. I dress well. I do that. Rob, I know. I'm just saying what I've heard, what I hear on the street.
They're not things. They're not even things you're supposed to be telling yourself. You ain't supposed to be attracted to you. You can't date yourself. That you shouldn't even be worried about that. Put your best foot forward. That's it. If somebody want that, they do. They don't want to, leave them alone. You shouldn't even be concentrating that much on yourself. That's ridiculous. These people get so caught up in themselves. Then they tell you how you're supposed to receive them because that's how they receive themselves. Are you serious? Right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I got Pastor Foster. He just posted. He said, in most relationships, one will more likely give more than the other person. Love is not always equal, but true will always to make it work. You have to make it work. Of course, you always. I pass you.
Card.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're right. But we understand one might be give a little more. But I was just asking a question: what if? Because nobody likes to be treated bad. No one. I hope don't like to be. I asked my boys today, who in the room likes someone who be okay with people talking negative about you, people talking down about you, people treating you different way, people treating you in a bad way. Who? None of them raised their hand because nobody on earth would want to be treated badly. So if you don't want to be treated any kind of way,
why would you think somebody else?
The other person the other way. And I understand that some love it won't be equal, but I mean, I just feel it should, but like I say, I haven't been married, so I don't, I don't know. But
Back
I'm
to
just going
Christianity again.
just
We
going
back
by,
to we
yeah.
back to Christianity
Hey,
again. When
listen.
it comes down to, we back to Christianity again. When it comes down to when people say, "Well, God knows my heart." Exactly. He knows when you really trying and when you really not. He knows when you're really sorry and you're really not. That's the same thing in relationships. The relationship, the love and all that stuff is going to be based on how people treat people based on their heart. Because if you're giving material stuff and all that stuff, that stuff lasts for a while and it's cute and it's measurable. But true love comes from the heart. True love, so people can see how much you really love them, not just on what you do, why you did it, and how you did it, and how you act when you did it. Because you can give me flowers every day, but if you threw the flowers on the table and say, "Hey, here's some flowers," that ain't the same.
Right.
It's not just doing something; it's the very content of how you're doing it. Doing it out of your wallet has nothing to do with your heart. Some people just got more money than other people; they can do more stuff for you. It's the heart, just like
It's the heart. It's right.
man.
The
God
least
knows if you really-
sometimes, right. Sometimes the most inexpensive thing could be the greatest thing,
Most
because
often,
it's how you give it, it's how you
Yeah.
present
Yup.
it, how you bring it.
Yes,
I always remember this thing about don't clown them, Rob. But I always remember the example with Jake's when he said they were in a bad, at that time, real low, bad situation, but it was his wife's birthday. And he didn't have money to, cake and dinner and all that. But he went by McDonald's and he got an apple pie. And he had a candle at the house, and he put that candle on that apple pie and
Beautiful.
presented it to her. And that to her was the best birthday that she ever had, because
he did that. Look what he was able to do later. Because he did that.
Yeah.
Look what he was in. See, what God is, when they say he be faithful, you give a little
over a few things.
Faithful over a few
things. That's
That's
the example of that. If because he gave it from himself, he didn't have much, but what he had, he gave from his heart. And that you can't beat that heart, man. I'm telling you. That heart every time.
You're right. And like one of our viewers just said, Miss O'Neill, thank you for joining us. She said the thought is the thought that counts. It's the thought. It's what you put in it. It's thought that you count. Hey, listen. There. We want to look at this. It's seven. We want to kind of dabble with this. It came to me, and so let's talk about these 7 common insecurities, because some of you might have experienced some of them. Some of you might know some people who experience some of them. You probably watched them, and some are still dealing with it. Some of the 7 that I discovered was fear of abandonment, body image concern, social insecurity, job insecurity, fear of failure, fear of failure, and prefacturation, and lack of confidence. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Perfectionism.
There you go.
Oh, they said good.
Professionalism. You got fear of abandonment, body image concern, social insecurity, professionalism, job insecurity, fear of failure, and lack of confidence.
Yes.
And put it on the 8th one.
I know.
Dating out your league.
I know the lack of confidence.
I said the 8th one is dating out your league.
Dating out your league, Lord.
You know what, Rob? But I can raise my hand for the lack of confidence. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. So, any of these 7, Chantel, have you seen a friend or maybe yourself have experienced one of these 7? And if so, if you experienced it or you have a friend that experienced it, how did they navigate to to change that, or how did you navigate the change?
I would say, I don't know if you mentioned it, the body image concern,
Yeah.
being uncomfortable in your skin. I think for a long time, I wasn't comfortable in my skin. It wasn't until maybe like maybe my 20s that I started to be comfortable in who I was and what I looked like. And for me, how I was able to overcome it is just, accepting me for who I was. I couldn't be nobody else but me. I couldn't look like nobody else but me. And just knowing that, that God loved me for who I was. He created me. And I understood as I got into his word, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, despite what anybody else looks like. I am who I am and I have to accept that. So I think that was one of the ways that I was able to overcome that and just, be comfortable in my skin.
Yeah. Have you ever had, or have you ever experienced or had like a setback of that moment? Like, you're pressing through, you navigating through, hey, I am this person. I'm this, I got, I've embraced who I am. I embrace my body. I embrace how I am. I embrace my look. But have you ever had a every now and then moment where you like, you know what? I just, I'm not gonna wear certain things because I just don't look good.
Just don't look good.
You don't look good in it. You don't look good what you went. I mean, you just have like a setback, like a setback moment.
Yeah, I think I've had
That's a good question, man.
Yeah,
What'd you say, Rob?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a moment where you had a setback.
Yeah, I definitely have. How was I able to overcome it? I just had to remind myself that, it's okay. Like, if you don't feel comfortable in that, wear something else. Or maybe switch something to where you're comfortable.
Yeah. Now, that wasn't an overnight process.
No, it definitely wasn't. It took years. Like I said, it wasn't until my 20s that I actually started to be comfortable in my own skin and accept the way I looked and, how I am.
Yeah.
So it took
And
years.
what was the trigger for you? What was the trigger for you that said, you know what? I'm better. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. What
I
was
think
the
I had
trigger
to,
to just
Another
get
good
to
question.
yeah.
that enough?
Yes, I think I had to stop looking at myself how others viewed me.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. 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 Because that's almost falling into that social insecurities.
Mhm.
Because our society say you're supposed to look, our
Mhm.
society say you're supposed to dress this way, you're supposed to look
Right.
this way, and people, you trying to compare yourself to how other people look,
Right.
and how they do, and the size that they are, and
Right.
so yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, you got to focus on yourself and kind of put them
Definitely.
those blinders on and say,
Yeah.
this is me, this is who I am.
That's right.
um yeah.
That's right.
Rob, out of the seven, Rob, I know you a bad man, but out of the seven, have you experienced any of these seven?
Yeah. Uh, uh, Perfectionism.
Okay.
Um, wow. I think I said this before. I was not really treated that nice when I was younger. I was abused. I was abused a lot when I was younger. Beaten very bad. Beaten very bad. Hung from a second story window. It was bad.
Wow.
It was bad. Constantly getting threatened to be put in a home. And you're talking about an AB student, and I was one of 5 and 6 kids, and I wasn't the oldest or the youngest. I was just picked to be treated this way. And for years, I just really thought nobody liked me for years. I really,
Mm,
so in everything that I did, I always tried to be perfect at it. But in doing that, the jealousy and the enviousness that came from that was even worse than how I felt before that. And I will say this, up until, and it made me do a lot of dumb things, and it made me search for love and affection in a lot of areas that I shouldn't have been searching in, and it made me frequent a lot of individuals because I thought the more people I did that with, the more I felt loved.
Wow.
And it didn't take me until I ruined some very good relationships before I realized that that wasn't the way. And I'm
Yeah.
honest with you, up until maybe a year or two ago, I really just started liking myself
Wow.
Yeah.
because I thought that I always had to be perfect to fit into everybody else's circle. I always felt like I had to give the best Rob and the perfect Rob in order for people to accept me. And it took me a long time to realize that I don't need no one to accept who I am. I just need Christ to accept who I am. And I need to love myself. That's it. Once I figured that out, I'm good. Now
Yeah.
I understand that peace that surpasses all understanding. Because with those insecurities come a lack of peace. You cannot have peace when you're doubting yourself in any kind of area, because there will always be something that make you feel incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
And you and speak to the relapse stuff. Yes, every now and then I do over check that I'm doing the right thing. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? I start sounding like Michael Jackson. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And it's ridiculous. And I slip into it like, oh, hold up. And I gotta catch myself and go, no. I asked one time. If they're okay, they're okay. I don't have to do that. But it's, so you do relapse sometimes when you try. I try to be perfect all the time. And it's like that. You think trying to be normal or average is hard. Trying to be perfect. Myself at the job, man.
But you know what? If and a lot of these insecurities, if you're not careful, they like that trying to be that perfectionist and trying to be perfect. It would drive, and it probably have driven people to not just the depression, but also suicide.
Yes. Because suicide, a lot of suicide is ungratefulness.
I was just looking at these 7, and all 7 of these are capable of shifting you into depression, right into suicide.
Absolutely.
If you don't identify it and try and correct it, and try and be better at that, like someone say, just be your best you. So we have to be careful. And listen, I got, the body. I mean, I talk about me, the body image concern, the fear of failure and lack of confidence.
I would say lack of confidence for me too.
I dealt with them all when I was younger.
That fear of failure is a beast.
I shared that earlier. That some time way back that I didn't see myself as looking good. I didn't see myself like other people will say, "Oh, you so healthy." I didn't see that. My lack of confidence kept me behind the drums.
Right.
Now I was confident on those drums, but as an individual, as a person, I hid behind those drums. I hid behind there. I didn't have to deal with, and people had an outlook of me that I didn't have.
Right.
He just because I was a musician. All musicians, y'all. Can I break that stigma and that thing? All musicians aren't players. All musicians aren't out trying to get every sister and
all entertainers.
All entertainers, all musicians. They're not. And I know I wasn't. I was not. I was not. Because I was not comfortable in myself. I didn't think I looked right. I didn't think I looked good. And I didn't at the time. I didn't even like my name.
It gives that deep sometime, man. It get that deep.
I didn't even like my name, Jeffrey.
Wow.
I just didn't like it. I was upset with my mom for a long time for giving me this clear person name. And I just did not like my name because my aunt had named me Keith Vantonio, which I gave my son. People were
I like that. Say that again.
Keith Antonio.
And I gave
like
that
that.
to my son. I gave that to my son because people, why you didn't name him Junior? I didn't even like that name. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I named him what my aunt gave, the name that she gave my mom. I don't know why she didn't pay no attention. She kept the Keith, but she didn't keep the Vantonio. But I don't know. She was looking at some movie. I don't know what she was doing. But yeah,
I'm gonna call you Vantonio from now on.
Antonio. Antonio.
My son get upset. He'll say that's my name. Don't take my name. He'll take my son and say, "Don't take my name." That's his name. But yeah, I dealt with that, and I asked you, Shan, about the relapse and the setbacks because even today, even now, I have those moments.
Yes, I agree.
I have those moments where I make people. I don't know. The lack of confidence in some things that I do, and the way I do. And a lot of times I can go to a service or a concert or event, and people want me to come. I'm not that person. I try and hide because I don't like. I have now. I still have that shy moment that come upon me.
Right. Yeah. I'm like
I still have that moment. So we still deal with it and we still suffer through it. But like I heard you say, Rob, and I heard Chantel, what you say, you just got to keep reminding yourself who you are. You got to keep reminding yourself. And I do, because what I'm doing now, all this chatting I'm doing now, trust me.
Before
at my younger days, I did not talk. And I think I said it, if I was more communicative back in before, some relationships would have been much better.
Yeah.
For me. But I was not a communicator. My dad was not a communicator. So every now and then we have those setbacks. But we got to be confident in ourselves of who we are and how God has made us and what God has placed in us. Because I know this what I'm doing now. This is God's doing.
Oh yeah.
I pray that is marvelous in his eyes because this is his doing. I have nothing to do with this. This is nothing that I just, wanted to wake up one morning and start doing. No, this was navigated what I do, what I'm doing now. Because like I said, someone saw me and man, boy, you talk now. Because they know me. They knew me then.
I didn't know you had it in you.
I didn't know I had it in. Stand in front of some folks, 50, 100, 200, 500,000 folks and talking about preaching. Who? Not me. But it's God's doing. That's why I know that God is real. He is real in my soul. I know he's real. So so we have to, as people that's going through this time of insecurity, we read off these 7: professionalism, lack of confidence, fear of failure, job insecurity, social security, body image concern, fear of abandonment. Because I know some people today that still have that fear of abandonment because they dealt with it in the past.
Yep.
And that's one of their fears when they get involved in relationship that is going to go and somebody's just going to walk away.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
That's a tough.
I mean, how do you process? I'm gonna have to look that up and kind of somebody said, pray. Well, Miss Vivian said, I can relate to this response, not looking like my sister, not being the it girl. How that self-love and gratitude showed up. It's me, Lord, I am.
Amen.
Yeah. You got to speak to yourself. what's the song? Encourage Yourself. Ms.
Yeah.
Yet Place said, learning how to accept compliments without feeling there is a motive behind it. Oh,
That's a
girl,
good
me
one.
and you
That's a
got
good
that.
one.
We
That's a
walking
good
the
one.
same. Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's from the others. Tell yourself, believe you are beautiful, good. You are God's child. Trust God, trust you. Now
Good
that
one.
right there, that first phrase,
That's
learning
a
how
good one.
to accept compliments, without feeling there is a motive behind it. Ooh, now
A tough one.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because people like, man, you just accept the compliment.
Yes.
That's a compliment. I'd be like, okay, because for years I just thought people were giving me compliment because they were just being nice and kind.
Trying to encourage you.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they were actually trying to lift me up, and I wasn't noticing.
You know, there's a difference too. You're right, because there's a difference between a compliment of encouragement and a compliment because that's how you really feel. And because a lot of people do that, teachers will do that. A lot of people tell you something, oh, you look good or whatever, and you really don't, but they're trying to make you feel better. So
Right.
you'll fight.
The
Some
boost your
people who are insecure will fight with that. Is
Yeah.
that person really saying that because that's how they feel? Or
Right.
is that person
Right.
really saying it because they're trying to make you feel better? So
Yeah.
Right.
you can fall into that.
Yeah. You know, and I did for a long time that people were just being nice, people just being kind. And sometimes I have that same moment, and a friend of mine say, stop it.
Just take it.
No, just take it. Just
Yeah.
accept it.
Sometimes you gotta
Nobody
shake
trying to-
people. You gotta shake them and go, take it. You know.
Listen, I have a relative of mine who's like that, and like anytime you give her any type of compliment before, like she's gotten better, excuse me, over the years. But anytime somebody give her a compliment, she always met them with, "Oh no, but this. Oh no, but that."
Ooh, I
It's
can't
like,
stand that.
that
Ooh,
that
I
that
can't
takes
stand
that,
that.
that takes away from the whole
Ooh.
compliment. You done tore
Yeah.
it down before
You
you can
wish
even
you could take
say
it back. You wish you could take it back. It's like, yo, I don't ask you how you feel about you. I'm telling you how I feel about you.
Right.
Ooh, that burns me, man. Ooh.
But they've gotten better, so praise God. They're not as defensive now. They'll just say
Yeah,
thank you.
you're right. Yeah. Miss Yet Praise said compliment versus corrective criticism. Yeah. Yeah.
Big difference.
It's a big difference, and you got to kind of know the difference. Even with the corrective, that criticism, sometimes you got to take it. You got to swallow that pill.
Well, compliment is the opposite
Especially if it's from a friend.
It's the opposite.
Huh?
Compliment and constructive criticism is really the opposite. We were talking more of compliment and pity or pacifying. We were talking more.
I think she was just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying she's right. Oh, she's right. I'm just saying what we were talking about was a little different.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all. But anyway, see, I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all they can talk a lot? I told you. It's 7
You up every show.
Hey, Chantel, did you hear that? You see that bus?
Yeah, right over.
It was right under, didn't it? That bus
You
drove
see the tie thread?
right under that bus.
Do you see the tie thread?
Yeah, I see this. I see it. Hey, Elder, tonight your callers was talking as much as we was. They were
they were full. Yeah, they were full. They were engaged. I love it.
Good.
I love
really
it.
good.
Man, listen. I'm smiling because I have Pastor Foster on tonight, man. That's my brother, man. I have Pastor Foster on tonight.
That's the Hallmark guy, right? That's the Hallmark guy, right?
You crazy boy. Yeah, Pastor Foster is, great pastor, great person, man.
Yeah, good guy.
But yeah, he I just have him on. Everybody, all my friends. I see a friend from Savannah is on. So listen, once again, hey y'all know I love y'all. That's an action word.
Love you right back, man.
I love you too.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, until next week, y'all stay safe. My prayers are with y'all. Rob, man, listen, praying for you and your family.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, but my prayers are with you and your family.
Yes.
I'll keep you posted on what's going on.
Yeah, please do. All right. Hey, y'all. Love y'all. Talk with y'all later.
All right. Good night, everyone. God bless.
All right, listen, y'all been locked into the South Florida Live podcast. I want to thank every viewer, everyone that's been viewing, your comments, your input. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I can't do it without you. I really can't. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for being a part of this singles edition, joining us on tonight, giving your input, and also just hope we said something that was informative, that helped change something that was in your life that was different, that was in a negative, because we always want to walk in the positive. We always want to walk in the positive. I often used to tell my track kids, we always can find a positive out of a negative. So let's find those positives and let's walk better with God through Christ, because it's God's way. We have to do it his way, but we also got to have discernment and pay attention to what we're doing. And listen, if you identify your insecurities, when you identify them, make a change, correct them, change from it, because what they say, repeated action, continue to do the same thing, trying to get a different result is insanity, and none of us are crazy on this podcast. So hey, y'all, listen, thank you for joining us once again. If you want to be a partner, or you want to partner with us to support this podcast, I really appreciate those that are on Facebook. If you want to help me, because it helps with the content to do things more, there are stars that you guys can send some stars. If not, hey, right there, Cash App, Power of Glory 777, $Power of Glory 777, or you can Zelle us at Jeffrey Brown 2094 at gmail.com. Jeffrey Brown, JFFERY 2094 at gmail.com. Thank you all. Peace and blessings to you. And as I always say, I'll pray for you. Y'all listen, I'm trying to catch a cold trying to catch up with me, but the devil is a liar. And y'all pray for me, and let's watch God change things. God bless.
Email your idea for show topics to the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to South Florida Live with your host, Jeffrey Brown.